Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the People's Mirror. Now, the widows of Cyrus Jirongo received the sad message of his demise actually through a text message. Some of them received it through a text message when Cyrus Jirongo succumbed to this story that now other people called an incident, including the former speaker and also the former Attorney General, Honorable J.B. Muturi, and not an accident, while others, now including the DCI and the institutions of government, have provided details, including CCTV footages that actually shows that this was actually an accident. We will put those statements before the mirror, including now statements that were made by Okengo Matiang'i yesterday about the Ruto government and the position of the united opposition moving forward, saying that if he is given that mandate to become the president of Kenya, then the first thing that he will do is stall all these particular corporations and private public partnerships that Ruto has gotten into, in statements that now he determines, or actually he defines, as Kenyans becoming slaves and secondary citizens to these particular corporations that Ruto are championing to be bringing development within the country. If this is your first time interacting with our channel, The People's Mirror, then please just hit the subscribe button so that we can be your political commentatorship channel, but beyond that, so that we can also grow alongside your viewership. Now, let's start with this main story. The widows of Jirongo have actually not made public statements other than introducing themselves yesterday alongside Governor Baraza, who went to the Gigiri home to also pay condolences to the family. This incident of Jirongo has had people going to Gigiri and to actually talk to the family, including President William Ruto, who has since gone to actually allege his condolences and pay condolences to the family. We have also seen the team from the United Opposition, including the Wiper Patriotic Front leader, that is party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, the DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua. We saw DAP Kenya party leader Eugene Wamalwa, and of course the deputy party leader to the DCP party, that's Honorable Malala. We saw the Democratic Party leader, Honorable Justin Muturi, and Senator Robo was also somewhere alongside those particular confines when they made their press statements. But beyond these two camps, other individual persons that knew Jirongo at a personal level have also made their route to the family in Gigiri and have paid their condolences. As this is happening, a lot of questions are still rotating around Jirongo's placement in this particular place, being where the accident took place, which was far away from Karen Gigiri. And Fred Gumo, who is the family spokesperson so far since this incident took place, has also said that since the CCTV footage showed up, then perhaps now it puts a stop to that particular question, saying that, of course, you might not know what might have happened, because the same questions that the Kenyans are asking are the same questions that they too are asking from their end. But other members, including members of the United Opposition, Rigathi Gachagua, PDP leader, says that this particular story does not add up somehow. Cleophas Malala, in the statements that we will play for you shortly, also feel like this particular issue do not add up somehow. But before we come back to that particular story around the CCTV and around where Jirongo was and how the accident took place, which have since now been clarified by these particular CCTVs, let us first hear what has come out of the widow's mouth since the demise of their husband in the following news bite. So in this news bite, this is when they were being introduced by the governor of Kakamega County, because of course Jirongo was a politician who was coming from Kakamega County, and this is what the wives said. Let's listen to the news bites.
Mimi kwa majina naitwa Anne Lanoit Jirongo. Mimi ndio ninaishi hapa Nairobi. Asanteni sana, nashukuru governor kwa kuja na mdogo wake na hao wengine wote ambao wametembea na yeye kwa kuja kuomboleza na sisi. Asante sana.
Hamjamboni nyote. Our governor, Mheshimiwa Sabula, Mheshimiwa Innocent Mugabe, tumeshukuru sana. Mimi naitwa Christine Okabi Jirongo, ninakaa pande ya Trans Nzoia Kitale. Tunarudisha shukrani kwa kuja kutushika kamba. We're very encouraged when we see you coming around and consoling with us. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Gavana wetu pamoja na deputy wake MP wa Likuyani, our very able chairman, na wote wale waliaccompany governor kuja kutupa pole. Hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Tunashukuru sana kwa kuja kwenu, kuja kutuliwaza. We really appreciate your gesture. Umechukua wakati wako, umekuja kutuambia pole, kuja kusimama nasi wakati huu mgumu, and we do not take it for granted. Umewacha vitu nyingi, umekuja kusimama nasi na tunakushukuru sana. Sitasema mengi, mbarikiwe. Asante.
So that is what has come out of the voices of the widows so far, and as you can listen to those particular news bites, it's nothing much about really what took place and the political statements that have been made around it and the questions that Kenyans have around it, but it's much more of a welcoming and thanking statement that is coming from people who are grieving right now. And this is really well placed that now the widows of Jirongo, including Anne Lynette Jirongo and Christine Nyokabi Jirongo and the first wife of Jirongo, have they need to now be given space by the Kenyan people a bit in this particular situation, not to be expected to make statements or really air their views about what has happened as it is still so fresh, and be given space as a family to mourn their departed one. Now, away from that and the statements that were made by the families, ladies and gentlemen, there have also been statements that have been made by political entities, including the United Opposition, that actually went to Jirongo'S place and had a lot of questions, or rather questions without answers that they were asking in that particular place. And so Eugene Wamalwa, who is doing the position of welcoming them, welcomed everyone, including Senator Uruba, who is actually, since her exit, or rather her not so ceremonious exit from the Senate, has found a camp with the United Opposition, making appearance in most of the places where they are and always showing up when they're making press conferences. And it's notable that this is the first time that the United Opposition actually now acknowledged her publicly. If you watched the statements, the recordings, then you could see the effect that had on her face. It brightened her face. And now Uruba has found a new camp, and we hope this will be a new political vehicle ahead of 2027, now that she lost her position as a nominated senator. Now, that aside, the first person that Eugene Wamalwa called to make statement was Senator Malala, because as we said, Senator Malala, of course, also comes from Kakamega, where Cyrus Jirongo used to come from. And let us just listen to the news bite on what Senator Malala had to say on the demise of Jirongo.
Sina pole sana kwa familia na kwa watu jamii yote ya Kakamega County kumpoteza kiongozi kama Cyrus Jirongo. Jirongo alikuwa kiongozi yule ambaye alikuwa na msimamo dhabiti, kiongozi yule ambaye alikuwa kusema ukweli, na tumesikia uchungu sana kumpoteza kiongozi kama Cyrus Jirongo. Vile ndugu yetu Eugene amesema, tungependa maswali kadha wa kadha yajibiwe. Kwanza, tunashangazwa sana kwamba masaa karibu 72 yanaisha na mpaka sasa hivi hatujaambiwa ni akina nani wale walikuwa katika ile basi ya Climax. Hatuwezi kuwa na Waluya 65 wanasafiri wakienda nyumbani, wapate accident ambayo ndugu yao wamekufa, alafu hakuna jina hata moja. Tumeambiwa masaa 72 baada ya kifo ya Jirongo, hakuna jina hata moja tu wa Climax bus. Tungependa kuambiwa hiyo basi ya Climax ilikuwa imebeba wakina nani, sababu basi ya kwenda Busia inabeba Waluya. Haituwezi kuwa tumempoteza Mluya hapo alafu jamaa mmoja peke yake ndio anakuja kusema kwamba alihusikana na hiyo accident. So masuala haya sisi kama jamii tunasisitiza Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya kupitia uongozi wake aambie hao DCI kwamba we want those answers. Hatutaki maneno ambayo imeanza kuwa katika magazeti leo, mnaona wanaanza kuwekelea kusema kwamba kulikuwa na handbag katika gari. We don't want those side shows. Tunataka tuambiwe wale watu 65 ambao yule dereva alisema walikuwa na yeye, walikuwa wapi? Hakupiga picha yoyote, ni akina nani? We want those answers. So we are saying that tumekubali tumepoteza ndugu yetu, lakini tunataka hayo majibu. And the buck stops at the president himself. Yeye amurishe, bila anamurisha vitu vingine, amurishe masuala haya yafanyike. Rais William Ruto, tunakuomba kama jamii, tafadhali amurisha DCI, amurisha wale watu wote kupeleleza maneno haya ya Jirongo. Kabla tumzike, tunataka majibu haya.
Yeah, so those are the statements of Cleophas Malala, and you see, Cleophas Malala is just echoing what now has been trending in social media from a lot of corners, that what are the voices of these 65 other passengers that were in this particular climax bus, and other voices that have now discredited the voice of the driver. These were voices that were very loud prior to the CCTV footage, which now has since been released, and some of these voices are quietened, but others are still being held underneath. Other individuals are saying that the CCTV footage does not really put it to rest, because they are saying that the CCTV footage without the voices of these 65 passengers then is still questionable. Now, Malala says that this was a lawyer, big political person, that is the person that is Jirongo'S Cyrus. And so if a bus carrying lawyers heading to his own homestead got into a collision with his own car, then there won't have been a scenario where lawyers would have failed to record that or even detail it in personal capacity. And now he says more than 72 hours later, there hasn't been any other person other than the driver of this bus who has testified to have actually witnessed this particular accident taking place, other than the CCTV footage and the petrol station. So those are statements of Malala really putting into doubt, or rather imputing doubt into that particular accident. And after Malala, also the former Speaker and the former Attorney General, Justin Muturi, who is the Democratic Party leader currently, who was also, of course, fronting the candidate against the UDA party in Bahrain North in the recent past that we detailed here, also made some statements. And this is the soundbite of the statements of JB Muturi.
Speaker.
2 hours since passing on of our friend Jirongo, very little has come through. And we are, by delaying coming out with what exactly happened on that day, we are allowing for speculation. And we cannot take lightly that our brother, the CJ, just passed on in the manner that has been casually described by those that have spoken about it. We want as many people as possible as witnessed the accident or the incident, because it might not just have been an accident, it might have been just an incident. Describe what it is they saw and what it is they saw others do, leading to and after the accident. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, so that is what JB had to say. According to JB, he also feels like 72 hours has passed, and 72 hours have rather passed, and there is little on the investigation that is around this particular murder, or rather assassination, according to how this particular cohort of people are terming it. And that is not ideas of the People's Mirror, but it is an accident from the details that have since been provided from verifiable sources. And so because they're imputing this particular doubt, they're saying 72 hours have passed and this particular issue is not being treated seriously. He says this might not have been an accident. You've heard in his soundbite, this might have been an incident. And these are some of the doubts that still exist in some Kenyans around these particular issues. And so while Malala is calling for the 65 passengers, JB Muturi now is calling for serious investigation into this particular matter. Kalonzo Musyoka, who is the party leader of the Wiper Democratic Party formerly and currently the Wiper Patriotic Front, also shared a message over a colleague that he said he worked with in the Azumio space, Cyrus Jirongo, and this is the news bite.
Before we bring the DCP and the Wiper Party leader, we have a friend of Jirongo'S here from Bungoma County and my deputy party leader, DAP.
Tulikuwa tupata nafasi ya kufanya kazi pamoja, kutafuta kura pamoja. Nimeona these smartphones are very interesting. I was saying soon after kusikia ndugu yetu ametuacha, na unafungua hiyo simu katika photograph section, kuletea tu picha pale. kaniletea picha ya Cyrus Jirongo tukiwa na Martha Karua na George Wainaina, because Kanu was also with us that time on Kenya Alliance, na alafu tulikuwa na Moses Kuria pale. Kwa hiyo picha kwa shamba mahali tukifanya strategy, tukiulizana tufanyeje. Hiyo ni kabla ya uchaguzi wa 2022. Sasa hivi tuna huzuni kubwa sana, kwa sababu wale walimjua Cyrus Jirongo watakubaliana kwa kauli moja kwamba Cyrus Jirongo alipenda nchi yake, alikuwa kiongozi ambaye hafichi ukweli. Ile ndugu Rigija ataelezea, he never hid the truth. He will just tell you as it is. In fact, hata bila kuonyesha emotion, lakini anakuambia ukweli jinsi ambavyo alikuwa anaelewa. Kwa hivyo wakati kama huu najiunga na viongozi vile vile kuuliza Wakenya wanataka kujua ukweli. Je, hii ilikuwa ni ajali ya kawaida ama ni ajali ambayo imebuniwa na watu fulani? Ubunifu ni wa aina nyingi. Sasa hivi kutumia vyombo hivi is very easy to monitor. Sasa hivi my son knows Amia, anaangalia tu ile app anajua niko hapa at any given time. So unaweza kutumia vyombo hivi na kupanga mambo hatari. Hatusemi kwamba hivyo ndivyo vilivyofanyika, lakini tunataka ukweli ujulikane, udhihirike wazi, ndio wakati tukienda kumpumzisha ndugu yetu CJ, kila mmoja wetu angalau amepata kuridhika. Lakini iwapo kutatokea maneno ambayo hairidhishi, basi Wakenya hawatakubali uzoefu wa kwamba siku hizi mtu anaweza tu kuwa bumped off, kuwa taken out, and life continues. We owe it to our brother Cyrus Jirongo kufuatilia kwa umakini sana swala hili, na sio tu accept and move on. I don't think this is a case for accepting and moving on, because here is a true Kenyan, a leader who was fearless and regionally very well known, very well connected. So I just want to say pole sana kwa niaba ya chama cha Wiper Patriotic Front kwamba tunampoteza ndugu ambaye alikuwa wa kuaminika kwa mipangilio ya siasa zetu na hata future of this nation. Poleni.
Yeah, so Kalonzo also just shared in those heaving sentiments, and you could also listen from Honorable Kalonzo's statements that he has a doubt on this particular accident, and he says that right now it's very easy with the tracking of phones and satellite devices that a person can be located where they are at what time they are needed there, and anything that can happen. But he says that is not what they are saying happened. They are still just calling for investigations to unearth really what happened to Cyrus Jirongo. So those were the statements of that Wiper patriotic leader Kalonzo Musyoka on Cyrus Jirongo, and immediately he finished the party leader for the Democracy for Citizens Party, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, also shared his thoughts about this particular accident that concerned Cyrus Jirongo and a climax bus around a few days ago, and has had the nation talking because of losing this particular political figure in those uncertain circumstances. Let us listen to what Rigathi Gachagua said in this news bite.
Kiongozi wa DCP, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua.
Thank you very much. I also join my fellow leaders in coming here to condole the family of the late Cyrus Jirongo. We have spent some good time with the family, and I want to join my fellow leaders and Kenyans in saying that the family explains to us that they are in anguish because there are too many questions and answers. I think we want to urge for speedy, exhaustive, transparent, credible investigations so that the truth can be known and the family can rest knowing exactly what happened to their husband, to their father. The stories that are being advanced are not making much sense, and I think there is need for clarity, because when I remember in 1975, J.M. Karaoke was at the Hilton Hotel, and he was caught by his kinsmen who he trusted, and he was never seen again. So Kenyans are asking, who are the last people to be seen with Cyrus Jirongo? Why are they quiet? Mostly they were his kinsmen, people he trusted, people he knew. Why are they quiet? We haven't had them give a good account. Speaker Wetangula, he should have given a very good account. What was his plans? Where was he going? What was happening? And other people who are with him should come out and give clarity so that the family can be settled and Kenyans can be settled. Otherwise, we want to say pole to the family and to say that we need urgent, transparent, credible investigations so that Kenyans can be clear. There is no foreplay, there is no monkey business. And the explanations that are being given by only one person need to be collaborated because it doesn't sound right at all that only one person seemed to be able to give an account of what transpired, yet there were just too many people around. And that's what I would like to say. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so those are the takes of Rigathi Gachagua over the same, of course, still doubting whether this was a genuine accident and also still doubting the statements of the driver. Away from Jirongo is the fact that Matiang'i, while addressing Kuria people, said that this country is now prioritizing foreigners and making citizens secondary individuals to these foreigners in these private partnerships, private-public partnerships rather, that the country has been getting into. This is happening while President Ruto is celebrating the fact that getting into these partnerships has since delivered the Talanta Stadium and is also in its way to deliver the Bomas building. And while this is happening now, Matiang'i feels like the way that these particular partners are treating Kenyans are making them secondary citizens. Now, he has said that if he gets into the position of becoming the president, that is, if the United Opposition settles on him and the Kenyan people elect him, then the first thing he will do is that he will ensure that he stops these particular private-public partnerships from going on. He has said that even right now, as he sits, he intends to actually write a letter to governments informing them that if they get into any arrangement with the Kenyan government, then those arrangements will not be honored post Ruto's government. Matiang'i has also said that he left the World Bank not because of the money that is in politics, because there he was being paid heftily and in dollars, but he left it because of the service for the people, and is coming into here now to actually deliver for those very people. He has faulted the government for the way the Ikolomani people are treated, saying that when gold is distributed in a place like Ikolomani and Kuria, it is not by the doing of the people, but it is by the doing of God. And so there is just need that whoever is coming in to actually exploit and mine that gold, even if for the government, should follow the honorable process of buying that land from the people in a way that is not disrupting their lives or killing them. Now, those are the statements made by Matiang'i, who has not been in unity with the United Opposition when they were making these particular statements at Jirongo'S place, but in a different forum, he used that particular space to actually also hold on in his position as a co-principal, faulting the Ruto's government in the Golomani and the Kuria issues. It's been a pleasure detailing for you that here at the People's Mirror. Again, if it is your first time with our channel, please just hit the subscribe button so that we keep bringing for you more of this. Till our next episode.